Warning! The following video may contain spoilers for some of your favourite shows. Just remember that before you continue. Stevie, out. Dragon Ball Super Episode 67. Fill your heart with new hope. Farewell, Trunks. As predicted last week, Zamasu is dead, although, again, as expected, he had a little hope spot. For those that don't follow wrestling, that's a little chance of winning before he finally got snuffed out for good. If you want to see more of my South Park reviews, Dragon Ball Super, Total Divas, and coming up, Doctor Who, click the subscribe button now! This week's episode started where we left off last week, that being with Zamasu standing split in half by Trunks' Spirit Bomb sword. He tried to say something smart arse, but he just explodes with a really trippy cool noise, which I thought was awesome. Everyone thinks they are safe, but no. Zamasu decides that as a gas he can do more damage. He spreads himself around the planet, seemingly killing everyone except those who were fighting with him, as well as the rest of the universe it seems, as he is trying to actually replace the universe. Goku throws out a Kamehameha, Trunks throws out a Gallic Gun, Vegeta throws out a Final Flash, but nothing they can do can penetrate this thing that Zamasu has created. So after failing to find a sensu bean to try and power up a little bit more, Goku has a thought, as he comes across the little Zeno button, the button he got from Zeno to call Zeno. And then he asks the question, he's like, would the Zeno still exist in this universe if the universe has been taken over by Zamasu? Let's call him and see what happens. So they press the call Zeno button and boop, a little Zeno appears. Now, the Zeno that appears here is obviously the Zeno from this future timeline, and he has absolutely no idea who Goku is or why he is called to help him. But Goku just tells him, look at the situation we're in, look at that thing up there, that's bad. And he says that this Zamasu looks bad and needs to be wiped out. But instead of just wiping out Zamasu, Zeno decides that because the shit has gone far too far, everything needs to be wiped out. The whole of this universe just needs to be gone. Zeno starts powering up in the same way that like Beerus did when he was going to take out Zamasu. Everyone shits it, bails. All the people that can get into the time machine get in the time machine and get back to the past. The Kais go to the Kai place. Everyone just disappears and Zeno just wipes out that whole universe. So after returning, everyone is kind of conflicted with this. But Goku comes up with a plan. They take the alternate universe Zeno to the actual Zeno, who Goku is friends with, and delivers him and says, look, this is your perfect playmate, it's a copy of yourself. And hey, they get on, they're playing, and it's really nice. The whole Zeno thing's wrapped up, that's Zeno buttons, cool. Goku's not going to press it by accident now, which I always thought. And Zeno has someone nice to play with, and that's a really nice closing to that little bit of the story. A little bit later, Whis then has the idea to go back to that universe, future timeline, whatever you want to call it, uses time reversal after making sure that Zamasu can't do any harm. He then uses his powers to bring that timeline and everything within it back into existence. As the episode comes to a close, everything is fixed, with the only hangovers being that there are now a few new time rings and 2 future Trunks and Mai, thanks to Whis doing his thing in the future timeline to make sure it still exists. This could be a kind of canon opening for Trunks to join the Time Patrol. Could we get a spin-off? That'd be cool, who knows? I'm just totally coming out with things off the top of my head here. And before I finish, the fun fact of the day was finding out that one of Zeno's guards is actually Whis and Vados' father. It is nice to see that what they do is a family thing, and it's a job that stays within their family group. This episode was pretty chilled as I expected, and as I said last week, I did think that Zamasu may rear his head up for 5 minutes before being put down for good, and I was not disappointed. It was a nice episode with every loose end tied up, including an emotional farewell from Trunks and Mai with a nice moment between Trunks and Vegeta, as well as explaining how time rings are created when they're created. Next week looks rather fillery-ish as we're going back looking for Dragon Balls, and finally,
King Kai is going to get his wish and he's going to be brought back to life.
some of the upcoming episode titles look interesting as hell, so remember and subscribe for the lowdown, y'all. Majin, Stevie out.